Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Ever find critters in your attic, in your basement, in your crawl space, in your house? When that happens, make your first call to Southeast Termite and Pest Control's Wildlife Division. They catch and remove any wild animal invading your home or office space. Well, maybe if it's a tiger, they wouldn't be the people to call, but if you got a tiger in your house, you got bigger issues. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, whether it's a raccoon, even a fox, birds, snakes, you name it, skunks, they can get them out of there. The Wildlife Division, give them a call if you need them. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right. For much of last season, Tennessee's basketball team and Rick Barnes were being praised as overachievers because you look up and down the roster, it's a bunch of three-star guys that they developed, that they turned into players. And then you get to the tournament, people are like, well, no wonder they didn't do anything. They're a bunch of three-stars. Now, fast forward, and let's take a look. You'll never be able to read all these names, but I'm putting up there in case you want to get your magnifying glass. They're the NBA Combine invitees. Tennessee has three guys going. Admiral Schofield, Jordan Bone, Grant Williams were all invited. That's as many as any school in the country. Duke, 3. Kentucky, 3. Tennessee, 3. So does that cause us now to reverse what we were talking about during the season? Were they overachievers in that they did it all with 3 stars? Or were they underachievers in that they didn't win an SEC title, they didn't make the Elite Eight, and here they were, they had all that talent. Overachieve or underachieve?
Okay.
Silence.
Is it okay to say neither? I still don't think
I'll
this
let
team.
you Cavaliers the question, even though Chuck's not
here. I still don't think this team underachieved because of that. For one thing, those 3 guys might be invited to the NBA Combine, but there's no guarantee any of them goes in the first round. Some of those teams with 3 guys are going to have some first-round picks, I think. And on top of that, again,
Duke could have 4.
Yeah,
and they got 1 guy that's not going to the Combine.
Right, and then everything's sort of random, as we've talked about. If you follow basketball closely enough, you've seen better teams than Tennessee losing the Sweet 16 almost every year, and that's not a knock on this Tennessee team. It's just saying it's a crapshoot once you get to the Sweet 16. So they lost a game on an overtime game that was tied on a last-second shot, essentially.
When a guy shot his lights out for the one night of the tournament where he went insane. I threw out Duke and Kentucky for a reason. Not only did they each have 3 like Tennessee, they didn't make the Final Four either. So I guess they would be horrible underachievers. I'm like you. I think the overachievement was coming as he built those guys up. I think this year they had the talent. That was a legit team. Wouldn't have surprised me if they made the Final Four. I don't think it's the end of the world they lost in the Sweet 16 because that's basketball. But I'm in the middle on this. Overachieve, underachieve, or in the middle?
I'm in the middle too, and let's look. Just because they got invited to a combine, like you said, that doesn't. Let's wait 3 years down the road, and I got a feeling these Duke guys are going to be good NBA players, and Tennessee's guys might be good NBA players, but that's to be seen.
Well, still, the only thing we have to go by is the NBA Combine right now. The teams invited these players, so it's not like I pulled this list out of the backside. It's it's all we have to go on right now. And you're right, some of these guys will be bigger hits than others. Jordan Bone's a question mark. I don't see him on any mock drafts yet. He was invited. But where are you, Vince?
Yeah,
over under.
I'd say middle. But if I was to lean one direction, I'd go underachieving, only because this team was a preseason top 8, top 6 type of team.
They finished ranked number 6 in the final ranking.
Yeah, and
so they were dead on.
But in terms of how far they got in the NCAA tournament, Sweet 16, that's short of that. But that's not really reality, I don't think. I think this team should be judged based on how well they did during the season. Like you mentioned, John, the overachieving, that's a previous story of them being 3 stars. The reality is that these guys were playing like much higher rated guys. That's the team we saw. So I don't think really it's either one of them, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I would say that they achieved as well. But there is some there is some underachieving within the season, that the players themselves had goals of winning SEC regular season or tournament titles. They didn't do either of those. They planned to go past the Sweet 16. It didn't happen. So they underachieved in those goals, but they did win 31 games, which ties a season record in Tennessee history. They were number 1 for 4 straight weeks. And some of those goals would probably be overachieved based on what was expected of them before the season. So it all kind of makes
19 game win streak.
Yeah. So I think it was a great season that had disappointing parts to it.
Okay, very good. So really the only truly negative guy here is Vince.
Used to that.
Very good.
Hater.
Should the NCAA move the 3-point line back. I talked about that during the season. Now it looks like they're going to. I'll ask this panel if they agree with the move. Come on back. We'll talk a little more basketball. Then we got some football. We got a new villain on the horizon. We'll discuss. Come on back.